Hello and welcome to Soul Freedom Harmony. Welcome to Clean With Me, 30-minute room refresh and ADHD journey. Join me for a 30-minute room refresh as I share my personal story of overcoming the challenges of cleaning with ADHD. This Clean With Me video is designed for us to tidy up together while discussing my relationship with cleaning and how it has transformed over time. I hope that this video can inspire and support you. If you struggle with keeping your space organized or you just need a cleaning companion, this video is for you. Together, we'll make cleaning feel more manageable and rewarding. Let's turn chaos into calm, one room at a time. So, get ready because it's time to either start cleaning with me, cleaning together, or watching comfortably. So I am beginning by making my bed, but whatever you want to do is absolutely okay. My recommendation is to just choose one thing. It doesn't matter what thing that is, and to just take it one little step at a time. So I don't have to make my entire bed in this moment. All I need to do is change that one pillowcase. And so while I'm cleaning and you're cleaning, I'm going to tell you a story. Or maybe you're also just watching, whichever you're doing is okay. Either way, if you're cleaning or watching, I feel that this story can benefit us both. So, once upon a time, when I was younger, I was told and came to believe that I had ADHD. Now, whether or not I actually do, I don't know. I have a diagnosis of ADHD, but for me, as I've got older, my perspective of what ADHD is and what that means to me has changed. But for clarity's sake, I'm just gonna say like this. I have ADHD and I had ADHD when I was younger, and how that manifested at the time was that I could not keep on top of the housework, kind of because it had always been done for me, and so I had never really learned to do it. Like in some way, no one ever taught me how to do it, and so I didn't know how to do it, and I found it super difficult, and so I just used to let the housework build up and just not really be super in touch with how that was affecting me, and just be more in this identity of like, I have ADHD, like I can't clean, and like that was that. Until what happened was I went to live in a community where the only way for me to afford to be able to live there was by working in the community, and the only jobs that were available were cooking and cleaning. So at that period in time, for me to be able to do what I wanted to do, it required me to become the cleaner for the house. And so obviously this was super confronting, because for someone with the conditioning of ADHD to just go from 0 to 100 and like be responsible for all of the cleaning after not really doing that at all, or maybe just like doing that when it really got desperate, I would like maybe have one hyper focus where I could do lots of cleaning, but really I was in no consistent relationship with cleaning. So I started to be the cleaner for the retreats, for the house before and after, and also a little bit during. I was making 5, 10, 15 beds. I was cleaning all the floors in all of the rooms. I was cleaning all of the toilets. And for me, this was very confronting, because not only was I having this experience of having this conditioning of ADHD, I was also experiencing OCD. And so to try to like touch dirty toilets and to clean things that weren't even mine and that were super messy was really very, very confronting for me. And so I hated this work at the time, but would do it because it was helping me to get to somewhere that I wanted to be. So I would just somehow find a way and go through the emotional process that cleaning was moving inside of me. And I began to realize that as I was moving things physically outside of me and I was feeling a certain way, that I was not only cleaning the house outside. Everything that I was moving around and cleaning was also helping me to process these emotions and to move this energy inside of me. And I began to really get into a flow when I was cleaning, and for it to be able to begin to come more naturally and get a little bit used to cleaning. That doesn't mean that I didn't or don't feel a little bit of resistance when it comes down to cleaning, but I began to develop a different relationship with cleaning. I began to see that I in fact can do it. I had just not learned. And over time, I actually began to question the identity of ADHD that I had. Because even though I can make content about ADHD and I have this diagnosis of ADHD, I'm not actually someone who considers myself to have ADHD. And that is not because ADHD is not something very real, because it is. It's like a tendency in the conditioning or in the way you've been brought up or in your genetics or something like this. It's like a tendency and like characteristics that you have, which include things like disorganization, finding it very confronting to organize things, emotional overwhelmment, difficulty concentrating unless it's something that you enjoy, and these kinds of things. I'm sure if you're watching this video, maybe you have ADHD or maybe you know about ADHD. So yeah, the typical things that define ADHD are definitely something that affect a person that has this specific way. But what I have come to find empowering for me is to notice that yes, I can have those tendencies, but that doesn't mean that I am ADHD. That means that there are these tendencies inside of me, and that maybe I need to find ways of doing things that work for me. And what I began to realize is that I'm not ADHD, I'm just me. And there are certain things that I might not be as good at as other people, but that might just be because I've not learned them, or because I have some emotional things to process in order to be able to find those things easier. I began to feel like there is not something wrong with me. In fact, the label of ADHD came from outside when I was younger, by people saying to me, "We think you have ADHD," when really, if I could have spoken up at that time, I would have said, "Hey, I just need a little bit of help, like learning how to clean, and for maybe someone to support me with it for a while until I get the hang of it. I also only have difficulty concentrating on things that I don't enjoy. And I actually have a very easy time concentrating on things that I do enjoy." I feel that I want to say from my teenage self, like, don't tell me who I am or what I have or how to be, because there is nothing wrong with me. And actually, me believing this idea of myself having ADHD kind of made it so that I got stuck in that way of being. And when I began to allow myself to consider the possibility that I'm just me, I began to be able to do things beyond what I previously thought was possible. and to come in touch with things that I had never come into contact with before. So when it comes to cleaning, these days I wouldn't say that I'm somebody who has any difficulty with cleaning. I would say that, in fact, in some places that I go, in most places that I go, I am the person who is the most in touch with the cleaning, because I've realized that I actually really value cleaning and what it does for the space and the energy. And when something's not clean and tidy, it's me who notices and sorts it out. And so I actually feel more connected to this part of my identity, which is the one who's very connected with and enjoys cleaning and finds it quite an easy thing to do. And it's not always been that way, because when I tell you that I used to have ADHD, or that I have that tendency inside, I don't even just mean a little bit. I mean that like I was practically incapable of doing so. It was like this almost constant paralysis around the tasks that I felt I should be doing. But what I felt arrived to me is that there was not a problem in me. There was a problem in the attitude that I had been taught to and had developed towards those tasks. There was like, I was struggling with my own self-demand and high standards and being told this is what I should do, and just not being in touch with my own emotional compass anymore. So when I had support to learn how to clean, or even just like be supported to see that I can do it, I went through a really big process and really opened up to cleaning, and also really opened up to, actually, I don't like to use this identity for myself, ADHD. And that's not because I am pretending that I don't have it and that everything's fine. No, it's because I actually genuinely saw a huge change in myself. And I don't believe it anymore. I just believe more that it's important that I understand who I am and what I need. And I don't need to call it a disorder, because I'm not a disorder. I am just me. And there's nothing wrong with who I am or the way I need to do things. There's nothing wrong with the fact that I needed to have a little bit more learning around cleaning. There's nothing wrong with that I focus much better on things I enjoy, and that I also needed to have a process of learning to do those more confronting and boring tasks. There's nothing wrong with that. That's in fact so normal. It's normal that if you don't want to do something, it's going to be harder to do that thing. There are times where it's good for us to learn how to do those things, and there are also times to recognize, wait, I don't need to always force myself to do things I don't want to do. Maybe I want to do more of things that I want to do. And so having this ADHD inside actually turned out to be a strength, and I want to rename it into I was and am very in touch with what I enjoy and don't enjoy. And I've become much better at discerning when something that I don't want to do actually needs to be done, and when something that I don't want to do doesn't even need to be done. It's like I only do things that are difficult to do if they are necessary. If they are not necessary, there is no need for me to do them. I can spend that time doing the things that I want to do and that are necessary. And so there is no disorder in not being able to force yourself through all of your resistance. Your resistance is important, and it's speaking to you. The important thing is to see and hear and feel inside of who you are and what inside of you is saying, and to meet the needs of that. So for example, the resistance that comes about cleaning your space, for me, that's a necessary resistance that I must approach, because if I don't clean my space, I don't like it. So even though a part of me doesn't want to clean, a bigger part of me wants the space to be clean. And so that reward, or that reason why I deep down want to clean, is enough to support me to move through the resistance and to do it in a way that feels good to all of the parts of me. So for example, this type of cleaning that I'm doing today is called the 30-minute room refresh. And that's because I have two different types of cleaning that I do. One is like a refresh that's done like every couple of days or just when it needs to be done. And then one is a deeper clean, which is like where I would pull absolutely everything out and clean absolutely everywhere. But again, that's not something that needs to be done every time I clean. That's just something that needs to be done only when it needs to be done. And so for just like maintaining the space and the energy in between, yeah, it's okay to just do a quick clean in the room that takes 30 minutes. Like, I quite enjoyed this 30 minutes. It's not the most like thorough cleaning that I've ever done in my life, but it doesn't have to be every time. It just needs to be enough. Like, the things that I feel are the main things to take care of is like changing the bed, because I want to sleep in a clean bed that feels good to me. Making sure that I have clean clothes so that I can wear the clothes that I like. So washing my clothes when they need to be washed and hanging them. And then also hoovering the floor and wiping down the sides. And that is the main tasks that need to be done in a bedroom. It's like the other ones, like the deeper cleaning, that needs to be done like sometimes maybe like once a month, once every 2 months, whatever you feel. And that would consist of the same kinds of things, the hoovering and the wiping and things, but just like in all of the nooks and crannies that usually get missed. But honestly, if I would do a deep clean every time I cleaned my room, I just don't feel like I quite have the time or the energy to do that. So I break it down into manageable parts, and also I choose the most important part and keep on top of that. And your insides will tell you like what it is you need to do. Like when I start looking at the carpet and feeling like this grimy sensation, or like when I see the washing basket full, or when I'm missing the clothes that I want to be wearing for that day and I need to wash those, like those are how I know that the task needs to be done. Like maybe I lay in the bed and then I smell it doesn't smell fresh, and I'm like, hey, wait, how long has it been since I changed the bed? Oh, it's been a week, like let's change it. And so those little cues inside are like how I understand what my energy is asking me to do, because your space is an extension of you. It's not like when your room is dirty, that has nothing to do with you. It absolutely has everything to do with you. And when you can feel in the space, a part of your space feeling like it needs something, that's because in a way it's a part of your body. Like for me, it feels pretty much the same when my hair is greasy, when my body is smelling that I need to have a shower. That feels almost the same as when my room is dirty and I need to clean it, or when I am needing to wash my clothes. Like getting used to tuning into that sensation and realizing what is necessary is really important, because everything that I feel as a part of me, it lets me know when things are necessary. And because that sensation of whether I need to do it or not is coming from inside, it's not like somebody is saying to me, you need to clean your room. It's me, I'm genuinely feeling that I need to clean my room, and so I do. It's my own little sanctuary, because your space is your sanctuary. And so I hope that me sharing my experience can inspire you in some way and support you. Because of course, me telling my story of like ADHD and how things are transforming and things like this is not something where I'm telling you how it is and how to be. It's just something that I'm telling you my perspective. There are some people who I hear them say that using the label of ADHD about themselves helps them to not blame themselves for things that they do, and it helps them basically. And then there is someone like me who doesn't find that label helpful, and it's absolutely okay. Like, whichever way you want to relate to yourself and understand yourself and figure out what you need is perfect. For me, just calling myself me and looking at my specific needs is enough. And it's actually quite liberating for me to not take on the label that was given to me from outside. Because what I find are my characteristics of me is that I have developed a wonderful relationship with cleaning and taking responsibility of my own place. That was not always easy for me, and I had to go through a confronting process with it. And also sometimes the resistance, I still feel it. But I have a different relationship with my own resistance, and when I feel resistance, I listen to it and I figure out what I need. And sometimes I need to change the order of things that I'm doing. Sometimes I need to take an easier approach. Sometimes I need to ask for help, something like this. It's been a long time since I've asked for help with cleaning, but there was a certain time when I needed to ask somebody to take care of the dishes or something like this, but it feels more empowering to me in these days to do the cleaning myself. But if you do need help with cleaning, that's nothing to be ashamed of, and that is also why I have made this video, to be someone who can be with you while you clean. Because yes, it can be easier to do something together with companionship. And so you might not even necessarily need help doing the actual cleaning. You might just need someone to be with you. And that's okay. I'm here. I got you. Same as I'm here and I got me. Look at me go. I'm doing an amazing job. And sometimes I feel the resistance when I'm cleaning, when I've got to move things to clean behind them. So I find myself doing this funky dance of like knowing I should move the thing, but trying to not move it and just like squeeze around it. And then eventually I remember, oh yeah, it's always just way easier when I move the damn thing. So I would say moving things and cleaning behind them is actually easier than the dance that we try to do by not moving them, which tries to make it easier, but actually doesn't in fact make it easier. But I had to take a while learning that anyway, and yeah, it seems like the more I do it, the more consciousness comes into it, and the more that when I notice myself trying to take this like lazy shortcut that ends up knocking things over and things like this, I'm getting better at saying to myself, hey, like, take a breath, move this thing out the way, like get the wire in a way where we're not going to run it over, and then like, clean in a way that is conscious. I will admit that what I'm doing here, where I'm using a lint roller on the side, is kind of weird and possibly a little bit lazy. But you know what? It's the best that I could do in this moment. So I am lint rolling the cat hairs off the side. I did also get my dusting glove and dust over that, so you will see that later on in the video. But at first I was telling myself like oh, I'm just gonna lint roll it and it'll be fine, and then I found a second wind a little bit later on and did dust it down, because I remembered, oh yeah, when I take like a half-assed approach to something, I don't feel good about it afterwards, and also it feels better to actually do when I do go all in. So I am actually learning to recognize that the things that my conditioning or the ADHD voice tells me are not always the thing that I actually want to do. And so sometimes when it's telling me, oh, just don't do this, or like, I don't want to do this, I actually don't think of that voice as me anymore. I just understand that that part feels that way, and somehow we work together to find something that I can manage in that moment, which also feels more in alignment with the part of me that knows the reward that's going to come from really going all in and connecting with now and being in the moment and cleaning and taking care of my space and being more in touch with my deeper values. Because that's the thing, it's like, as I'm becoming more and more in touch with my deeper values, things that I used to do are feeling less like me, and new ways of doing things are feeling more like me. So even though I remember very clearly having ADHD and believing that and finding it difficult to clean and not being able to concentrate and being in analysis paralysis and having emotional overwhelmment and being 15 million miles an hour and not being able to remember what I was going to say and the things that comes with it. I feel like there was one more thing that I wanted to say in that bundle, but I did forget. So I'm just going to have to let that go and trust that you know what it's like to have ADHD if you have it, or maybe if you don't. All of that information was useful and it helps you to learn what it's like. But anyway, when I was more like that, that felt like who I am. But now, understanding me as an individual and what I need and practicing the things that I want to get better at and giving myself emotional regulation, and what do I mean by that? Giving myself space to feel and choosing healthy behaviors to support my emotions and being kind to myself whatever I do choose, and also choosing things that I can focus on and spending my time playing to my strengths and not trying to do what I should do, doing what I want to do and what I need to do. Because what I need to do and what I want to do is very different to what I should do. Like if I say to you, do what you need to do and what you want to do, it's very different than me saying to you, do what you should do. And somehow this should is very connected with ADHD. It's this very self-demanding voice. And so for me, by self-exploration, unconditionality with myself, and giving things a go, I have blown away my own expectations and turned into quite a different person who very much doesn't think about ADHD anymore, until I had the idea of this video where I felt that it might be able to help somebody who feels how I used to feel about cleaning or something like this. So I hope that this video has been supportive for you to explore your relationship with cleaning, maybe to support you to clean, and also has given you some things to reflect about ADHD, and also just about like your needs and what you can do to meet them, and how it's okay to be who you are, and that anything that's possible for me is also possible for you. So please do like, comment, let me know how you found this video. Did you clean? And subscribe if you have not already. It'll be awesome to see you back here next time for more soul, freedom, harmony content. Please do join Soul Freedom Harmony YouTube members to get early access to all future videos. Take care, lots of love, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Namaste.